Alright, welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you all a couple of more advanced art techniques that you can do just to kind of improve your work. So the first one that I'm going to show you is what we call hatching. So hatching is, actually I think I'll use brown for this. Hatching is where you have lines in one direction like this. It can help you to shade really quickly. You can also, if you overlap your lines in the one direction, you'll notice that it starts to get darker. So this is really good for things like fur because it can give it both texture as well as shading. But yeah, hatching. That's where it's in one direction. Cross hatching is like hatching, except it's like you're making a whole bunch of hashtags or little X's. So hatching or cross hatching, here's your hatching. To cross hatch, you're crossing over and going another way. So keep in mind that the more you put on one side, the closer together and the darker it'll appear. So this can also be really good for adding shading or also adding a little bit of texture to your pieces. If you are cross-hatching, let's say you were cross-hatching on a circle. The first thing I'm going to show you is how not to do it, and then I'm going to show you how to do it. So let's say you are cross-hatching on a circle. And it looks like this. Now you'll notice that this isn't the most realistic shading, and part of the reason for that is because if you look at it, your lines are all straight. So if you take the lines and you mimic the shape of the actual object, it'll make it look more realistic. So since this is a sphere, you would want it to curve. And that'll help your object to look more realistic. So the majority of my lines here are actually curving, and that'll help to give it a little bit more volume and dimension. So that is for cross-hatching. I'm going to label these. You can also use these to serve as a sort of visual aid to blend things. So for example, let's say I wanted to blend a green and a yellow. This will blend it, but not to the point where you can't tell that there's both green and yellow in it. So for example, if I am cross-hatching like this, and then I cross-hatch with the yellow over the top, and let's say I cross-hatch a little bit more like this, it'll kind of help to blend it if you stand further away, because your eye does what's called optical blending, where it actually, if it sees the colors so close together, it will kind of fuse them in a way to make one color if you're far enough away. Another technique you can use, if you are trying to do a gradient, kind of like how I showed you in class, where you're going dark to light, I'm going to show you two different ways you can make that gradient smooth. So we've got our dark to light. If we want it to be a little bit smoother, one of the things we can do is we can take the eraser on our pencil and we can actually go back in and kind of erase over it in order to make it look a little bit smoother. Another thing we can do is, I know that you all don't have a white colored pencil, but if you have one in your house, you can take a white colored pencil and you can go over it with a white colored pencil, and that will also help to kind of smooth that color and make everything a little bit more gradual. And last but not least, I have one more technique for you all, and that is going to be layering. So for layering, I'm going to just fill this little box in. And then I'm going to take another colored pencil and I'm going to actually draw over the top of it. So you'll notice that the color will change slightly where they overlap to be more of a blend. So this can have a really cool effect on your pieces, and it is a slightly more advanced technique to use. I hope that you all liked this video. I hope that it gave you some more ideas for techniques you can do with colored pencil for your pieces. And please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or if you need any help. Hope you have a great rest of your day.